Good afternoon, members. I know that many of you have had a full day already working through the committees, and we appreciate that. Going through 3-day weeks, Wednesday's a very, very busy day for us. We appreciate your work. The House will come to order. Members, our prayer is going to be led today by the gentleman from Marion County, Representative Tracy Estes. Representative Estes, you have the floor.
Members, if you would bow with me. Father, we come to you today, and let us start, Father, just by pausing for a second to say thank you. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for providing for us. Thank you for being such an encourager, being there with us on our lowest days. I thank you for every member of this chamber, and I thank you that you've blessed me with the opportunity to call so many of them my friend. But most importantly, those that stand in this chamber today that call you their Lord and Savior, they're my brother or my sister. And I thank you for that blessing. So, Father, no matter how many more blessings you pour out, no matter how many more prayers you answer, if you never answer another prayer that I utter, Father, you have done more than enough already for me that I could sing your praises for the remainder of my days. And I thank you for that. Lord, you see what's happening in your world. It's not ours, it's yours. You breathed it into existence. Lord, there's people on the other side of the world that are hurting. Men and women and children are dying because of the aggressions of a ruthless dictator. But Lord, no matter how powerful his army is, your breath is even stronger. Breathe on this world, Father. Blow your Holy Spirit across this canvas that you call the world in a way that this world has never, ever seen. We need a touch from glory, God, that only you can provide. No president, no legislature, no governor, no corporate executive can do what needs to be done. Even this body, on our best days, God, would fall so short of what this world needs. What this world needs, God, is a group of men and women that will lead by example and get on their knees and ask for your forgiveness, because you've promised us if we would do that and we would turn our faces to you, that you would hear from heaven and you would heal our land. And God, we know that is the only way that this country is ever going to realize its truest potential. I pray that you'll bless this body today as we do your work in this chamber. Father, that you would give us your wisdom, and as I always say, give us the courage to act on the wisdom that you so willfully provide. Forgive us, we've sinned against you, God. In Christ's name we ask it. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Representative Estes. The Pledge of Allegiance will be led today by the lady from Mobile, Representative Adeline Clark. Representative Clark.
Will you please join me in pledging allegiance to our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Representative Clark. Thank you. Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Speaker, Alexander, Allen, Allman, Baker, Ball, Bedsole, Blackshear, Boyd, Bracey, Brown C, Brown K, Carnes, Chestnut, Clark, Klaus, Coleman, Collins, Crawford, Daniels, Desmukes, Drake, Drummond, Easterbrook, Ellis, England, Estes, Farley, Faulkner, Faust, Fincher, Fort, Garrett, Gaston, Gavan, Gray, Greer, Grimsley, Hall, Haynes, Harbison, Hassel, Hill, Hollis, Holmes, Howard, Hurst, Ingram, Isbell, Jackson, Jones M., Jones S., Keel, Kitchens, Lawrence, Ledbetter, Lee, Lipscomb, Lovern, Marcus, McCampbell, McClammy, McMillan, Meadows, Mooney, Moore M., Moore P., Morris, Oliver, Pascal, Pettis, Pringle, Rafferty, Reynolds, Rich, Robinson, Robertson, Robbins, Robertson, Rogers, Sanderford, Scott, Sells, Shaver, Shed, Shiver, Simpson, Smith, Sorrell, Sorrell, South, Stodhagen, Standridge, Stringer, Sullivan, Treadaway, Wadsworth, Warren, Wheeler, Whit, Horton, Wilcox, Wingo, Wood D, Wood R.
All right, there are 67 members having answered a roll. Quorum is present, and the House is ready to transact business. First order of business will be the report from the Committee on Rules. Mr. Clerk.
House of Representatives, your Standing Committee on Rules begs leave to report that it has carefully examined the Journal of the House for the 16th legislative day and finds the same to be correct. Representative Mike Jones, Chairman.
And the chair recognizes the gentleman from Covington, Chairman Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that the reading of the journal for the 16th legislative day be dispensed with and that absent representatives be excused for this legislative day.
All right, members, you've heard the motion presented before you. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion is adopted. Chair thanks the clerk and the committee for the work. The chair now recognizes no announcements. The chair now recognizes Chairman Garrett for an announcement, personal privilege. Members, listen up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the recognition. I just want to let the members know that this morning the Education, Ways and Means Committee did vote out the budget, so we will have the budget and all the related bills on the floor on Tuesday, the 8th. Up here on the dais here is a copy of the spreadsheet, a copy of the supplemental bill, HB 138, and a copy of the budget, HB 135. So please take a copy, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks, sir.
All right, Mr. Chairman, thank you so much, you and the committee, for the work you're doing. And the chair now recognizes the gentleman from Clark, personal privilege, Representative Jackson. Got you on time today. Didn't have to wait a day.
But Speaker, you're on time, you're right on it. But I wanted to question my chairman, rules chair, as relates, I had a resolution I dropped in that as relates to infrastructure bank. Mr. Speaker, it's been several years. I've been trying to get that resolution. I wanted to ask if there's a problem with it.
All right, well, he'd be the man to talk to.
And what is it? I've been trying to get information, can't get any information on that.
He's, well, I see him grinning. How about you and him have a conversation about that? And matter of fact,
I want to have a conversation on the microphone about that.
Maybe I'll get involved in that conversation with you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. And the chair thanks the gentleman. All right, moving along. Members, the clerk will now receive reports from standing committees. Be receiving those throughout the day in the order of business. House is now in the position for the introduction of bills and resolutions, and we'll be receiving those until the clerk has an opportunity to finish their paperwork today. All right, members, next order of business is going to be the House will receive a report from the Committee on Rules, resolutions. Mr. Clerk.
Senate Joint Resolution number 51 by Senator Wagner, mourning the death of Elizabeth Barry Biddle. Senate Joint Resolution number 53 by Senator Wagner, commending Alabama's 2021 export sales and recognizing Alabama's international trade and export professionals, trade partnership, and Alabama's businesses that export their products. Senate Joint Resolution number 54 by Senator Weaver, mourning the death of Philip A. Harris.
And the chair recognizes the gentleman from Covington, Chairman Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move adoption of the resolution of congratulations, commendation, condolence, and sympathy as favorably reported by the Committee on Rules.
All right, members, you've heard the motion before you, the adoption of these resolutions. And the gentleman from Jefferson, Representative Rogers, you have a question on the resolution? You have a resolution that you want to offer? Oh, yeah, we'll recognize you on that. Yeah, be glad to do that on a death of an individual. Yeah, we'll recognize you at the proper time. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and let's go back to the motion on the resolutions that are on the floor. And these are the resolutions of congratulations, commendation, condolences, and sympathy. All the members in favor of these resolutions signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the resolutions are adopted. Mr. Clerk, let's go to the next resolution.
House Joint Resolution number 99 by Representative McCutcheon, commending Taiwan for its relations with the United States and the state of Alabama.
Chairman Jones?
Move adoption.
All right, the question is the adoption of HJR 99. All the members in favor of that resolution signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the resolution is adopted. Mr. Clerk, next resolution.
Senate Joint Resolution number 52 by Senator Wagner, observing July 20th is National Space Exploration Day.
Chairman Jones?
Move adoption.
All right, the question is the adoption of SJR 52. All the members in favor of that resolution signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any in opposition? And the resolution is adopted. Mr. Clerk, next resolution.
Senate Joint Resolution number 56 by Senator Singleton, creating the Study Commission on Financial Obligations in Pretrial Services in Alternative Courts.
Chairman Jones?
Move adoption.
All right, the question is the adoption of SJR 56. All the members in favor of that resolution signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the resolution is adopted. All right, now before we go to the next order of business, let's recognize the gentleman from Jefferson, Representative Rogers, for a point of personal privilege.
I just want a moment of silence for Arthurine Lucy, the first black to integrate the University of Alabama. Arthurine Lucy, she passed away, I think, today or yesterday. So I feel a moment of silence for Arthurine Lucy.
All right, I think that'd be very appropriate. And amen.
May she rest in peace.
Amen. Representative Rogers, are y'all going to have a resolution coming forth for her?
Right, right.
Okay, when that comes forth, are you going to go through the Rules Committee, or will you just bring it up on the floor?
I guess we just bring it on.
Either way? You can do it either way.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I think it might be appropriate to go through the Rules Committee.
Okay, but we do that.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we've got some guests in the gallery we want to recognize. The Limestone County Commission leadership and leadership from Limestone County, one of our fastest growing counties in the state. We've got Chairman of the County Commission, Mr. Colin Daly is with us. Stand up, Mr. Chairman. Good to have you. LaDon Townsend is with us. Mark Massey, the city, working in the city there. Am I missing anybody? Did we get them all, Mr. Chairman? We had another one in the office, but I think he's gone for the day. Okay. All right. Good to have y'all with us. Y'all are special guests of Representatives Crawford, Witt, Moore, Greer, and myself. Good to have y'all with us. Appreciate your leadership. All right. Mr. Clerk, let's go. The next order of business will be the uncontested local bills.
On page 41 of the calendar, House Bill number 388 by Representative Easterbrook, relating to Clark County and the city of Jackson.
All right, members, the question before us now is going to be on the adoption of the BIR on House Bill 388. If you are in favor of the BIR, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. All the members voted? Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 49 yeas, 1 nay, 43 abstentions. The BIR is adopted. Now, members, we are in the final passage of House Bill 388. And Representative Grimmers, do you wish to speak on this bill?
Okay,
No, this is, represent, yes, it's the city of Jackson. Clark County, city of Jackson.
I just want to ask one question.
All right?
Does Representative Jackson still represent part of Clark County?
I do not know. That's a good question.
Okay. Do you mind? I just got one question because I think you know something about this bill. Just
And
ask
the
it.
sponsor of the bill, Representative Easterbrook, are you?
I'd have to go to the sponsor. I just asked Mr. Jackson first.
That'd be fine. That'd be fine. We'll make sure it's answered. Nobody's.
It's a your bill. I just wanted to ask Representative Jackson.
Okay, okay. All right, you want to ask him about it now?
That's all right.
You want to call him up? Okay, okay, all right. And Mr. Jackson, with the gentleman from Clark, Representative Jackson, you want to come up? There's a question, I think, about the location and the county of that this local bill's in.
Mr. Jackson, how you doing?
Very well, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir.
I was just looking at this bill, and I think it's a great bill. But what is this bill pertaining to?
What's wrong with the bill? We got 9.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
Well, nothing like a little humor here on local bills. All right, members, let's go back to the order of business. We're on House Bill 388, final passage. If you're in favor of this bill, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. Sounded like y'all were following the script on that one. Yeah. Okay. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 18 yeas, 0 nays, 78 abstentions, and House Bill 388 is passed. Mr. Clerk, call the next local bill.
On page 41 of the calendar, House Bill number 380 by Representative Easterbrook relating to Choctaw County.
All right, and members, the question now is going to be on the adoption of the BIR on the local bill, House Bill 380. If you're in favor of the BIR, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 39 yeas, 0 nays, 54 abstentions. The BIR is adopted. Now, members, we're on final passage of House Bill 380. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Clark, Representative Jackson, speaking on the bill. And do we need to sponsor here? Okay, he's coming.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got your question answered. Good, good. All right, members, the question now is going to be on final passage of House Bill 380. If you are in favor of this bill, your vote is aye. If you oppose, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. We're on final passage, members, of House Bill 380. All the members voted? All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 10 yeas, 0 nays, 85 abstentions, and House Bill 380 is passed. All right, before we go to the next order of business on our calendar, let's go to the Senate messages, Mr. Clerk. And let's call up Senate Message Resolution HJR 70.
Message from the Senate. Mr. Speaker, the Senate has amended as therein shown, and as amended has concurred in and adopted the following House Joint Resolution and returned same herewith to the House of Representatives. House Joint Resolution number 70, commending Dr. Jane Meyer for outstanding professional achievement.
And I don't see the sponsor of the bill in the chamber. All right, let's go ahead and Mr. Clerk, I think the motion was going to be to concur. All right, she's on the way down, Mr. Clerk. And the chair recognizes the lady from Madison while we're waiting on the sponsor to come down. All right, well, let's wait on the sponsor then, and we'll be able to answer that question. And Madam Chair Collins, you are recognized. Thank you for rushing down.
I was in a meeting and I apologize.
That's all right. That's all right.
I
Take your
might have
breath. Get your
run.
breath. Yeah, yeah.
What are we on?
This is the House Joint Resolution 70 that was sent back from the Senate. And I think you had a conversation with the staff yesterday about it. Said it's going to be on the floor. It's a resolution. And I think we do have a question about it, so if you can entertain a question.
We have a Department of Education employee, Dr. Jane Meyer, who's done so much for the state of Alabama, and she's retiring after 45 years. So everyone on education policy and education ways and means actually sponsored this, but there was a typo in one of the, what area was it? The typo. An acronym of one of the entities was not right, and so they subbed it out. So that answers that question.
So this is just a typo issue.
Just a typo issue on one of the acronyms.
All right. Now, the lady from Madison, Representative Hall, you want an explanation further? Okay. All right. You want to turn your light off then? Thank you, ma'am. All right. Okay. Members, you've heard that, and I'm assuming the motion would be to concur.
It is to concur.
All right. All right. And the motion would be to concur. And all the members in favor of that motion signify by saying, and we need to take a voice vote, a recorded vote. Let's do a recorded vote on that, since it is a Senate message. All right, if you are in favor of the motion to concur, your vote will be aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine, the members will vote. We're voting on the motion to concur. All the members voted? Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 101 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstention, and the motion is adopted. And the chair thanks the lady.
And I thank you as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you, ma'am. All right. All right, members, let's go. The next order of business will be to Recognize the gentleman from Covington, Chairman Jones, for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, I have a resolution.
All right, clerk receive the resolution.
House Resolution number 112 by the House Rules Committee, the special order calendar.
Chairman Jones.
Move adoption.
All right, the question is adoption of special order calendar. All the members in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the special order calendar is adopted. All right, let's go now to the first bill on the special order, Mr. Clerk.
On page 22 of the calendar, House Bill number 48 with amendment by Representative Brown K. relating to Funeral Service Board.
And Representative Brown, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 48 is a bill that's proposed by the Alabama Board of Funeral Service. And please give me your attention for just a moment. This is not House Bill 47 that was carried over yesterday. I repeat, it is not House Bill 47. So I want everybody to understand that. At the recommendation of the Sunset Committee, this bill would establish the Funeral Board Property Acquisition Fund and with no cost increase to anyone. It takes the money that the board was paying in rent and uses it for maintenance and upkeep of the board office, which it now currently owns. House Bill 48 also simplifies the language related to various license certificates and registrations issued by the board. Instead of naming each license, it changes the language to say licensee or licensed by the chapter. It increases the board members' compensation from $50, which was set in 1975, to $75. It allows the board to have up to 4 associate directors in the event that the priests are moved to the board. It sets the due date for license renewals to September the 1st and allows for committees and subcommittees to be formed under the board. Setting the passing score on exams and the terms of an apprenticeship to be set by rule of the board in accordance with the Administrative Procedure Act. It updates course requirements for licensure to the current curriculum in accordance with the Alabama Board of Funeral Service Education. And beginning on October the 1st of 2023, all funeral establishments will be required to have minimum liability insurance in the amount of $1 million. Mr. Speaker, I'll be glad to answer any questions.
All right, and seeing none, I think we're ready to adopt the BIR. If you're in favor of the BIR, your vote will be aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. We're voting on the BIR. All the members voted. And the clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 98 yeas, 2 nays, 0 abstentions. The BIR is adopted. And Representative Brown, we're back on the bill now.
Okay, we do have an amendment.
All right, this is a committee amendment. Explain the amendment.
On page 36, line 26, delete R certificates. It was a typo, and insert in lieu thereof certificates.
All right, members, you've heard explanation of the committee amendment. The chair recognizes the lady from Madison, Representative Hall, speaking on the committee amendment.
There. Yes, ma'am. It's just a typo.
I think I probably should have waited until after he did the amendment before I raised my question.
Do you?
While I'm waiting for the copy, because he told me it was just a typo, but I wanted to also know, are you able to the board, I was looking for the makeup of the board. Are you able to tell me what the diversity makeup of the board is? Women, men, African Americans?
I don't know at this time, but I can find it out for you within 5 minutes. I sure can.
Okay. All right, because since we're, thank you, I got so instead of research, oh, it was just that it had an R before certificate. Is that the only?
Okay, all right, so you got it answered?
Thank you.
Okay.
It says so it indicates, the reason I was asking about the makeup of the board, just because it's came out through Sunset, this is the way it should be done.
Well,
But
what came out of Sunset was they recommended that the board purchase office space instead of continuing to pay outrageous rental fees each month. That's all that came out of Sunset.
Right, and so I was just asking, and you will get that for me, the board makeup, so that was.
Yes, ma'am. I'll get that for you right now.
Thank you.
Sure will.
All right, and the chair thanks the lady. All right, members, the question now before us is adoption of the committee amendment. If you're in favor of this committee amendment, your vote will be aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted? Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 94 yeas, 4 nays, 0 abstentions, and the committee amendment is adopted. Representative Brown.
I move for final passage.
All right, members, we're on final passage of House Bill 48 as amended. If you're in favor of this bill, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. Members will vote. We're on final passage, member. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 88 yeas, 6 nays, 3 abstentions, and House Bill 48 is passed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and House members.
And the chair thanks the gentleman. Clerk, call the next bill on special order.
On page 11 of the calendar, House Bill number 201 by Representative Lawrence relating to Wilcox County.
And the chair recognizes Representative Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the recognition. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the House, HB 201 is a bill that's increasing the maximum working days for the Wilcox County Board of Registrars. We're increasing the maximum days from 120 to 167 days. If there are no final questions, I move for the BR.
All right, well, I see no questions. I think we're ready to vote on the BIR. If you're in favor of the BIR, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. 97 yeas, 0 nays, 2 abstentions. The BIR is adopted. And Representative Lawrence, we're back on the bill now.
Mr. Speaker, there are no final questions. I move for final passage.
All right, I see no questions. We're ready for final passage. If you're in favor of this bill, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 93 yeas, 0 nays, 5 abstentions, and House Bill 201 is passed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, members.
And the chair thanks the gentleman for your work. Clerk, call the next bill on special order.
On page 28 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 134 by Senator Chasteen relating to crimes and offenses.
And Representative Lee, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Many of you remember last week I brought the same bill, HB 117. This is the Senate bill version. It's dealing with catalytic converters. I know many of you may have been hit, or at least know friends or have family that's been hit in this area. It deals with who can buy, who can sell, the sale location, documentation, and the limit of cash transactions. Mr. Speaker, I move for BIR, being it is the same one we passed.
All right, I believe the question before us, adoption of the BIR. If you're in favor of the BIR, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. We're on the BIR, on Senate Bill 134. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 100 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstentions. The BIR is adopted. Chairman Lee, we're back on the bill.
Move final passage.
All right, we're on final passage. If you're in favor of Senate Bill 134, your vote will be aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. All the members voted. And the clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. 100 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and Senate Bill 134 is passed. And the chair thanks the gentleman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir. Clerk, wait, hold on just a minute, Mr. Clerk, before we call the next bill. We've got some special guests in the gallery we want to recognize. We've got County Commissioner, Mr. Billy Joe. Mr. Billy Joe, would you stand up? Miss Billy Joe, good to see you, have you with us. And we also have Sherry Lee Botop, the administrator. It's good to see you. This is part of the Baldwin County government down there, and you are special guests of the Baldwin County delegation. And Commissioner Joe, how's the pecan business? Doing good? Okay, all right, good deal. It's good to have y'all with us, a special guest. Okay, all right. Mr. Clerk's call the next bill on the special order.
On page 15 of the calendar, House Bill number 221 by Representative Hill relating to the courts.
And the chair recognizes Judge Hill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bill requires that the Administrative Director of Courts certify and submit a listing of all offices of courts of circuit court, district courts, courts of appeals, Supreme Court, and clerks of the circuit court, including the county and place number as they are to appear on the ballot for the next general election, and this is to be done by December 1st of the year preceding the next general election. As you know, we've got over 400 judges in this state, and the Secretary of State has got to know which ones are coming up for election at any particular time, and they asked me, the Secretary of State asked me to carry this bill, and this makes sense that it would need to come from the Director of Courts.
All right,
So
okay.
I would ask for the BIR.
All right, I believe that's the question before us, adoption of the BIR. If you're in favor of the BIR, your vote will be aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. We're voting on the BIR, House Bill 221. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 101 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and the BIR is adopted. Judge Hill, we're back on the bill.
Then I would ask for final passage.
I believe that's where we are. Final passage of House Bill 221. If you're in favor of this bill, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 99 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and House Bill 221 is passed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate it very much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And, all right. We've got some more guests we want to recognize before we go to the next bill. Houston County Circuit Clerk, Carla Woodall. Miss Woodall, are you up in the gallery over here to the left? Okay. Good to have you with us. You're the special guest of Representatives Lee, Sorrells, and Grimsley. Thank you for being our guest today here in the House. Also, we have some special guests of Butler County School Board, Michael Weimer. Mr. Weimer? Right over here to the right. Okay, good. Good to have you. Good to have you with us. Special guest, Mr. Chris Sales. Thank y'all for being our guest today. All right, Mr. Clerk, let's go to the next bill on special order.
On page 27 of the calendar, House Bill number 353 by Representative Drummond relating to taxation.
And the lady from Mobile, Representative Drummond, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Blessing Angels Gift and Tree is a nonprofit that's in Mobile, and it's one of our, I call them a hero because during any type of crisis, they are actually helping those that are in need, and they do research of everybody that they help and keep a database to make sure that they're not duplicating. What they're asking for is to become tax exempt, and it's only about $3,000 if you've looked at the physical note. With that, Mr. Speaker, I'll take any questions. If not, I call for the BIR.
All right, I believe the question is before us, adoption of the BIR. If you're in favor of the BIR, your vote is aye. Opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 94 yeas, 0 nays, 3 abstentions. The BIR is adopted. Representative Drummond, we're back on the bill now.
Mr. Speaker, if there are no questions, I call for final passage.
And I believe that's the question, final passage. If you're in favor of this bill, your vote is aye. If opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. We're on final passage, members. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 94 yeas, 0 nays, 4 abstentions, and House Bill 353 is passed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Batty.
And the chair thanks the lady. Mr. Clerk, let's call the next bill on special order.
On page 32 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 41 by Senator Smitherman relating to Class 1 municipalities.
And the chair recognizes Representative Rafferty.
All right, thank you for the recognition, Mr. Speaker. Members, SB 41, it's a very simple bill. All it does is allows Class 1 municipalities. Right now, currently, they can only establish 5 entertainment districts. This would allow Class 1 to increase that to 15 entertainment districts. So, if it's a big city spread out, making sure that it's, everyone can participate in them. So, without it, if there's no other questions, I would ask for the BIR.
All right, we are on the adoption of the BIR. The chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson, Representative Moore. First person speaking on the BIR.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. General, you yield.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, notice Senator Smitherman's carrying this in the Senate. So did he share with you any idea of where these entertainment districts are going to be located? Because they don't locate them in our neighborhood.
Well, I think that they're looking to expand them over into the west side of town, but I'm not sure totally.
We need some surety.
We'd have to talk to city council about that.
You know, the original way most of these places got entertainment districts were because of us. When we first started working with entertainment districts, it was to make sure we would have growth in the predominantly black areas of the city also. That has never happened.
Right.
So, you know, I'm awful leery. In the city of Birmingham, the only place they're building up is First Avenue going south.
And uptown.
Going south. That's uptown.
And uptown.
That's right there with them in the Civic Center.
Right.
And the Civic Center is a city within a city because the city of Birmingham get no benefits from the Civic Center. We don't get no taxes. We don't get anything. So I take issue unless we could get it, I know they'll pass it, but to have no certainty about any growth in the predominantly black areas of the city of Birmingham is an insult to all of us who are descendants of Africa that make up the majority of the city of Birmingham. Nobody talks to us about this. I just happened to see it when I pulled the bills today. We don't hear about it who live there. I live in the city limits of Birmingham. Quite a few of our representatives don't live nowhere near Birmingham or Jefferson County. They live from Fayette, all points all over the state of Alabama that represent Jefferson County. Yet those of us of African descent, we don't know about it and we don't get the benefits. And that's the thing that upset me. I think you're in my office right across the hall from each other. Still, the only way I could see anything about this is to see it on the bills that was going to be on the calendar today. And I think at some point, because if I had known about it before, I certainly would have gone to Senator Smitherman or somebody to ask for some assurance that all parts of the city get benefit. Right now, the north side, the east side, west side, we don't get much of anything from the city.
That's what I would hope to see happen with this.
Ain't nothing going in the west side, so that's a lie too.
Well, there's, okay.
What? They've been trying to tear down one building for 50 years, the McCormick building. They just imploded it.
Okay.
Ain't nothing else going on in Inslee but death and somebody being shot every morning. And there's no other growth. But, you know, for us to continue to support a city and we get no benefits from it, and I know my other colleagues are not going to say anything, but we're in the 21st century. And about now it's time for us, no matter where we live, that we consider all the people in all the areas, no matter who they are, if they of Anglo descent or if they are black, brown, whatever color people, but everybody deserves an opportunity to grow regardless of the city they're in. It shouldn't just be a one-sided fit all, and that's just going south. And we know that there's no growth. That's the areas I'm in just about every day. Only thing they've done was imploded a building. Everything else is in constant deterioration. And they're talking about entertainment in areas that we're not, very few of us exist. But I just wish that we would communicate a little more in the Jefferson County delegation, even though I know the majority of the delegation for Jefferson County live in Fayette, Alabama, and Winston County, and all the other counties in the state, but they don't live in Jefferson County. They don't live, they don't know what we need or anything else, but we continue to get bills passed for Jefferson County with the people who live in Jefferson County not knowing a thing about it. Appreciate you. Keep up your hard work.
Thank you, Representative.
And one day, by and by, won't be long, we all gonna be included in this growth.
Thank you, Representative.
Thank you.
And the chair thanks the lady. All right, members, I believe the Question now is going to be the adoption of the BIR. If you're in favor of the BIR, your vote will be aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted?
Somebody vote me.
Clerk. There we go. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 84 yeas, 7 nays, 9 abstentions. The BIR is adopted. And Representative Rafferty, we're back on the bill now.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. If there's no further questions, I'd like to ask for final passage.
All right, seeing none, I think we're ready for the final passage vote. If you're in favor of this bill, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted? Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. 74 yeas, 9 nays, 16 abstentions, and Senate Bill 41 is passed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, members.
All right, Chair thanks the gentleman. All right, clerk call the next bill on the special order.
On page 30 of the calendar, House Bill number 238 with amendment by Representative Faulkner relating to the courts.
And Representative Faulkner, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this is a garnishment proceeding bill where we're having issue getting a second service on people in a garnishment proceeding. Monies have already been collected. This has been asked for by the Circuit Clerks Association. It is an ALI bill. And I'd like to recognize Carla Woodall, who was already recognized. She's up in the gallery, the Houston County Circuit Clerk, for being here in support of the Circuit Clerks Association. And I'd also like to recognize Jamie Scarborough, the Pike County Circuit Clerk, and Cassandra Johnson, the Etowah County Clerk, who were here for the hearing. But with that, Mr. Speaker, I would move for the BIR.
I believe that's the question before us, is the adoption of the BIR on House Bill 238. And with that, the chair recognizes the lady from Madison, Representative Hall, be first person speaking on the BIR.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the gentleman yield?
Yes, ma'am.
Will you explain to me what the process is now that you're dealing with?
Right.
Yes. What does, what is the process presently?
So once you've had an action, you've established that, someone owes someone money, and then to garnish their wages to make up for that debt, you have to serve them, and then an employer will garnish that person's wages. So they will take those wages and they will send them to the circuit clerk of the court. So once the judgment's been obtained.
Stop right there. So these are things that have gone through the courts. It's not necessarily that these are issues that have gone through the courts, such as what kind of issues? Maybe I should ask that.
Any debt. So
debt,
if someone owes someone money,
right,
and to get paid back
right,
for that debt, I'm able to go garnish their wages.
Right.
So from their employer, when I do the garnishment action, then the employer will start withdrawing part of their wage,
right,
and will send that to the circuit clerk.
Okay.
And the circuit clerks, the problem is, Ms. Hall, is that the circuit clerks are holding this money, but they have to get a second service on the defendant in order to.
Stop right there. So when you say a second service, what do you mean?
So after they've served them with the garnishment proceeding, or service was returned not found, the monies that they have to get a second service before they can let the monies go from the circuit clerk to the person that the money's owed to, the creditor.
I missed something. The money, the clerk gets the money,
Yes, ma'am.
and it's then sent to whoever it is owed.
They cannot send it to the creditor until they get another service.
When you say get another service means somebody, what does that mean? Give me an example when you talk about another service.
Well, so, the sheriff goes out and serves you.
That's one service.
Well, right. And so there's a second one required.
And so you got to get another sheriff to do the same thing?
You got to go out and do the same thing, and a lot of times you can't find the folks. So what this is doing is it's allowing the circuit clerks to issue by posting on their website or in their county board in their courthouse, as well as mailing a letter to the last known address for that second service. They're going to let them they're going to give notice for the second service by doing that, is what this bill is doing. And the circuit clerks want this because all the money's sitting there tied up. It's been already pulled out of the paycheck, but they're not obtaining the second service, so therefore they're not distributing the money.
So when I read this, what I read, that each time they do this, there's a $15 fee. Is that did I read that correctly?
Let me see. I did see that $15.
Okay, say a fee of $15 shall be assessed as an additional court cost and collected by the clerk, in which case they're filed at the time of the filing. So each time. Now you just said they're going to mail this.
Yes, on page 3, it says a fee of $15 shall be assessed as additional court cost and collected by the clerk of the court for the county in which the case has been filed. So the clerk is able to assess a $15 fee.
And my question is, are you saying for each service, for the first service?
No,
the
this is talking about for this second service.
Okay. Then it also indicates the additional cost and fees may be made taxable to the defendant. So in addition, what would be additional costs in other than sending it by mail? What would be additional costs and fees?
Whatever, I don't know exactly what the clerks, whatever they're posting, if the judge were to order something, that there be an additional way, because this gives the judge discretion to set additional requirements to give notice. So whatever that is what the court could assess as additional cost for trying to give notice to the defendant.
And then it says if the amount subject to judgment is condemnation is less than $25. So we could have somebody having less than $25 having to go through this process. Am I reading that correctly?
If the amount subject to a judgment of condemnation is less than $25, the court may order waiver of the fee assessment. So right. if there was an amount that was owed of less than $25, the court can waive the fee. So that you wouldn't have a $15 fee on top of a $20.
I'm just trying to understand. Somebody's check can be garnished for $25?
Well, usually it'd be that amount per month. And I guess they're saying if this amount was left in the account, if that was the only amount left.
Okay, on page 4, would you explain to me what section C is doing?
Okay.
Page 4, starting at line 3.
And there is an amendment to this, and I'm just making sure if there's anything. So posting and mailing was added in this amendment. That's what the amendment did. And on...
But now when I look at the amendment, you haven't presented yet, but on page 2, you're deleting pending action, and then you're doing adding service. And so most of the action for your amendment is found on page 2. And then on page 3, you added the only thing that I saw, although I didn't see the back of this, maybe I missed something.
Well, to answer your question about paragraph C, I mean, this is saying after you've got this compliance, after you've done the posting and the mailing of this second service we've been talking about, after you've done that, a request for an order for a judgment of condemnation against the garnishee and the condemnation of proceeds may be made upon the court by verified motion that all requirements of the order of service by posting have been accomplished. So this is just how it's finalized.
Okay. And so we had one post to let folks know.
And you see it saying you got to attach the verified motion, a copy of the posting and mailing, along with a verified statement of the clerk. This is to make sure due process was done. We're making sure that we accomplish the due process.
So when it says that, you got to do a copy of the posting, a statement of the clerk, court's attesting. You have to give the date.
Yes,
of the
ma'am.
Website and courthouse posting.
That's right.
And the mailing, and of the mailing of the post.
That's right.
So all of those things are.
We're making sure you did all of that to ensure due process was done so that, but we can avoid having to get personal service. We're going to do postings and mailings to avoid that second service so we can get these monies out of the circuit clerk accounts.
So, and those postings are done mainly through the internet. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, earlier in the bill, you'll see it says on page 2, if the motion is granted, a notice of the garnishment on the clerk of the court's official website and in a conspicuous location within the courthouse for 4 continuous weeks and mail a letter.
Okay. And mail a letter.
Yes, ma'am.
And mail a letter that might go to the wrong address.
To the last known.
Right. But the other part I was saying, you think of the number of people, as much as we use our phones and things, they certainly, hopefully, would run across that. They would be aware. But everybody, they don't use the internet. And so, but anyway, I think you've taken care of answering my question. And I do think at least mailing a letter as a result of all of this. So you're going to have this website information posted in a conspicuous place. I'm hoping you're saying a conspicuous place is on the door as you come into the courthouse or someplace. I don't know where that would be, but anyway.
Probably like a common area board, but 13 states have done this recently.
And the ladies' time.
Thank you.
And the chair recognizes the gentleman from DeKalb County, Representative Ledbetter. Your light's on to speak. You want to speak? Okay. All right. All right, members. And now the chair recognizes the gentleman from Barber County, Representative Ford. Speaking on the BIR, second person.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative Faulkner.
The second time. No. He does. But the law requires a second service.
Mr. Faulkner.
Yes, sir.
How about educating me and schooling me on? You already got a law in the books, small claim court. Don't just it's just going to be overlapping the small claim court. Folks owe a bill, most of them in my county, and I know the circuit clerk.
Circuit clerk.
I know this guy, yeah. And I got a friend, was, I don't know where he owed, but I know he had to go to small claim court, and the jury set up a payment. They got together in court, and the company owed the money. They got together and made an agreement how he was going to pay it.
That's right.
So ain't this we don't need this law. We already got a small claim court, do we?
So what we're doing here is the circuit clerks they're the ones that get this money in, and they have it held in their trust account of the circuit clerk. And they want to issue, the money's already been collected by the employer of the debtor, and it's already been sent in. And so now what they want to do is they wanted to be able to release those funds to the creditor. So they're holding the monies that have already been collected out of someone's paycheck. And they want to be able to get those funds out of their account. And what's happened is, because right now we have to get a second service.
Oh, man.
A second service. And remember, they already know it's coming out of their paycheck. And you already got a first service. Now you're talking about the second service. And so the circuit clerks want to be able to get this money out of their accounts. But if they can't get that second service,
yeah,
then they're...
That's that putting, this is putting more burden on the circuit clerk. They already ain't got but 1 or 2 employees.
They want
in my county, I don't know about your county. You from Jefferson County?
Yes, sir. And the circuit clerks want this.
It's Jefferson County. It is in Barber County, Bullock County. This is going to put a lot of pressure on this.
Oh, no, they want, this is going to, the circuit clerks are the ones who wanted us
They wanted y'all to do this.
That's correct. And ALI, the Alabama Law Institute, drafted this to meet their request. So the circuit clerks are the ones who want to be able to get this money out. They don't want to have it there and not be able to disperse it.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them. When you go to circuit, if you go to, we got constable down there. Got any constable in your county?
We have some.
You said the sheriff goes.
We have some.
Well, they send the constable around down there. The sheriff ain't got time to do all that. He will do it. He will do it, but the constable ain't got nothing else to do, and they love to do it. But it's going through the juries down in my county, and all 3 of my county. So I know I'm probably gonna vote for your bill, but I ain't heard nothing
from your clerk, and I was looking.
And I saw her yesterday, not yesterday, Monday before I came up here.
Yes, sir.
She said not one word about it.
Well, I would imagine that she is very much in favor of it. I was looking to see at some of the counties that have responded already to how much money they have.
Let me go call her.
Call her, because
she probably going to go along with the bill.
Yeah, I'm bringing this on behalf of the circuit clerks.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir. All right, members, I believe the question before us is going to be, let's see. Well, we had another light come on. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Baldwin County. I've had two minority, and I need 2 majority. Speaking on the third person speaking on BR.
I know how difficult it is sometimes to explain the concepts that come into these ALI bills and how just vast they are. And I want to commend you for the tremendous job you've done explaining exactly what this bill and what this bill accomplishes. We went over this in judiciary. You've done a tremendous job with what we have, and I just want to commend you, sir, for bringing this bill. Thank you, and thank you to the circuit clerks that will be helped by this bill.
Thank you. Thank you, Representative Simpson.
And the chair thanks the gentleman. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Etowah, Representative Isbell, 4th person speaking on the BIR.
Representative Faulkner, will you yield?
Yes, sir.
I appreciate what you're doing. I've talked with my circuit clerk. The burden that they have to bear, it just gets more and more all the time. So anything that we can help make them more efficient, save time, and even save money, it's worthwhile. And thank you.
Thank you.
All right. All right, now we're ready to vote on the BIR. And if you are in favor of the BIR, your vote is aye. If you oppose, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted? Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 98 yeas, 0 nays, 3 abstentions. The BIR is adopted. And Representative Faulkner, we're back on the bill now.
So we have an amendment.
Committee amendment.
Committee amendment.
If you'll give explanation to that amendment, then
Sure.
we'll recognize the the member.
So, members, this is just clarifying that this is dealing with a garnishment proceeding and the second service, and that it is posting and mailing is what we're doing to avoid the second service. And I think that pretty much, it's more of a clarification amendment, so that's really what the amendment does.
All right, members, you've heard explanation to that amendment, and now we're on the committee amendment. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Mobile, Mayor Jones.
Gentleman Yale.
Yes, sir.
Speaker. I just wanted to get a clarification on, it appears to me that what your bill is doing is, in lieu of the second service, you want to notify by mail
And posting.
and posting.
Yes.
And the posting will be in the courthouse or online or?
That's, yes, sir. On their website, online, or as the court shall order.
I'm curious as to if you still don't get a response, what happens then?
Then you can distribute, the circuit clerk can distribute the monies. So these are monies that have already been collected out of a person's paycheck, sitting in the circuit clerk trust account. After that posting and the proof of that posting and a mailing of a letter to the last known address, then those monies, the circuit clerk can release those monies to the creditor.
Okay. All right, that's what I wanted.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And the chair thanks the gentleman. All right, members, the question before us now is going to be on the adoption of the committee amendment. If you're in favor of this amendment, your vote will be aye. If you oppose, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 98 yeas, 0 nays, 3 abstentions. The committee amendment is adopted. Representative Faulkner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now I'd move for final passage if no further questions.
All right, final passage of House Bill 238 as amended. If you're in favor of this bill, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. We're on final passage, members. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 98 yeas, 0 nays, 3 abstentions, and House Bill 238 is passed.
Thank you, members. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir. Thank the gentleman. Clerk, call the next bill on special order.
On page 39 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 198 by Senator Hatcher relating to boards of registrars.
And Representative Lawrence, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the recognition.
Yes, sir.
Senate Bill 198. This bill would allow the Board of Registrars to accumulate working days in case of an absent registrar. Currently, registrars are set for a certain amount of days, and they're not getting compensated. They have to make up a day for another registrar. So what this bill would, it doesn't increase the days, but this bill would just allow a registrar that makes up a day for an absent registrar, that they would be compensated. If there are no questions, Mr. Speaker, I move for the BIR.
All right, and I believe this question before us, the adoption of the BIR. If you're in favor of the BIR, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 101 yeas, 0 nays, 1 abstention. The BIR is adopted. Representative Lawrence, we're back on the bill.
At this time, Mr. Speaker, I would like to move for final passage if there are no questions.
All right, seeing none, I think that's the question for us. Final passage of Senate Bill 198. If you're in favor of this bill, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 101 yeas, 0 nays, 1 abstention, and Senate Bill 198 is passed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, members.
Yes, sir. Thank the gentleman for his work. Clerk, call the next bill on special order.
On page 26 of the calendar, House Bill number 223 by Representative Drake relating to taxation.
And the chair recognizes Chairman Drake.
Thank you, sir. In 2013, an organization was formed called Touch of Faith Family Services, or Backpack Buddies. And it was formed for the sole purpose of supporting the feeding of children with food insecurities. It's estimated that 1 in 5 children nationally go hungry, and 1 in 4 in the state of Alabama go hungry. And we use the term food insecurities because children don't know where their next meal is coming unless it's coming from one of the reduced or free lunches. But what Backpack Buddies does is every week they send the children home for the weekend with enough food to feed them through the weekend. This thing started out in August of 2013 with 2 children, and Joe and Sheila Vick are the 2 that started Backpack Buddies, and now it's grown to 905 children a week. And it's quite an undertaking. So they have no employees, and just about every penny goes to buy food for the children. And to be exempt from state, county, and municipal taxes has a fiscal note of $7,800 combined for all 3. So that would buy a lot of food for these children, and for that reason, I asked for this bill to be passed. And if there are no questions, move for the BIR.
All right, seeing no questions, we're on the adoption of the BIR. If you're in favor of the BIR, your vote is aye. If opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 99 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and the BR is adopted. And Chairman Drake, we're back on the bill now.
And Mr. Speaker, I'll be glad to take any questions. If not, I'll move for final passage.
Okay. We're on final passage of the bill. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Clark County, Representative Jackson.
No, you can't get on
Speaking on the
Backpack
bill.
Buddies. You can't get on Backpack Buddies, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to commend you for bringing this. We've done this through our Retired Education Association.
Yes, sir.
In my district, in my county at least, not the entire district. And we really don't know, being an educator, retired educator, how many children go home hungry.
Right.
During the weekend. If it wasn't for our meals program, there would be a lot more problems with hunger and poverty in this state. Because they come to school to eat, they get 2 meals at school, they get breakfast and lunch.
That's exactly right.
And on Fridays, this backpack will be taking them home for the weekend. I really appreciate you for bringing this. And the tax exempt would help put more food in those backpacks, and so those kids can have a little more to eat. And it's nutritious food. Thank you so much for bringing this.
Well, thank you, sir. In addition to the backpack, the food they supply, 3 times a year they give them hygiene packs also, with hygiene products. And for special occasions like Halloween and things like that, they send them home with, extra food.
Thank you for taking care of the little least of these. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And the chair thanks the gentleman. Chair recognizes the lady from Montgomery, Representative Meadows.
Thank you, Mr. Drake. Will the gentleman yield?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do the backpacks that go home at Halloween have toothbrushes?
No, but the hygiene products do.
Oh, hygiene products. Okay. That was not really why I wanted to ask. I appreciate you bringing this bill. There actually are some child nutrition programs that provide after-school and weekend programs, and those, of course, are tax-free. So I think this is significant. My only concern, and I'm going to vote for it, but my only concern is that we're not doing this for all backpack programs.
I agree, buddy.
So can we think about doing that in the future? Because I think there's obviously from 2 to 900 in less than 10 years. That's a lot of need.
It's 9 years to be exact.
9 years.
They're truly blessed. Go from 2 to 900.
I mean, I do think this is something that if we can afford to do it for one program, we should we should think
I
about
did
doing
think
it for all.
about that, honestly. I did think about it, but I'm not sure exactly how I'd go about doing it for the entire state. But I will check into it.
Okay.
It's a good idea.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And the chair thanks the lady. Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson, Representative Moore.
No, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. General, you yield.
Yes, ma'am.
Just wanted to piggyback on what Representative Meadows just said. But quite a few school districts have the backpack buddies, and they run them all across the state. And it's something I don't know how, as a legislator, we could tap more into it. But I know in the Birmingham school system, they try to, even if they have younger brothers and sisters that are not in school, when those teachers do those weekend backpacks and the daily backpacks, they make sure that they include food for the younger brothers and sisters, and that's just by them pulling the family information that the school has. But Backpack Buddies have been in existence for a while, and we thank you for what this organization doing, and any organization, because in a country as wealthy as the United States, we ought to have an avenue to do better. But I thank you for your bill. And just to piggyback on what she's saying, so many school systems across the country have the Backpack Buddies. And it's a blessing that they're able to do what they do. But I know for certain, and a lot of them are probably like Birmingham, that they know that they have smaller brothers and sisters at home.
Yes, ma'am.
And they try to account for them too every day, and especially on the weekend, putting additional foods in those backpacks for those younger brothers and sisters that they might have at home.
Yes, ma'am, they do. I know there's a lot of backpack buddies out there, and I wish we could pass this for the whole state, because every dollar that you save means that much more food for the kids. And I wish we could do it for the statewide. I really do.
Hey, I do too. And thank you for yours and everything that could be done. I think that the more is done, the more we help an awful lot of children whoever their guardians aren't as responsible as they ought to be.
This just happens to be the organization that represents the 3 counties that I represent.
That's good. That's good. But I just wanted to let them know a lot of schools do the same thing, and we just have to be thankful that we have so many teachers across the country that have organized those backpack buddies in their individual schools.
Yes, ma'am.
And the chair thanks the lady. All right, members, I believe the question before us now is going to be on final passage. If you're in favor of this bill, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 100 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstentions. House Bill 223 is passed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and the children, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Good work on the bill. Call the next bill on special order.
On page 12 of the calendar, House Bill number 308, with amendment by Representative Ingram, relating to the retirement system.
And Chairman Ingram, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is the same bill we had last year. It got bottlenecked at the end of the year in the Senate. It just modifies the Tier 2 to be able to attract more people. We're having, in the element that we're in, to be able to get people to come to work and to hire them. I'll be glad to explain the bill if anybody needs to explain it, but it's the same bill as last year.
All right, members, you've heard explanation as to the bill. If you're in favor of the BIR, your vote will be aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 102 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstentions. The BIR is adopted. And Chairman Ingram, we're back on the bill now.
Mr. Speaker, I ask final passage.
Well, I'm showing a committee amendment. Is that true?
I didn't remember. Let's see here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it was a typo.
give explanation to
Yes,
the
sir.
body.
It was just a typo. So.
Can you explain where the
Yes, sir.
typo's at?
Yes, sir. Okay. On page 36, line 25, after Tier 1, insert Tier 2, or Tier 2.
Okay. All right, members, you've heard explanation of the committee amendment, which is a typo correction. If you are in favor of this committee amendment, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. Voting on the committee amendment. All the members voted. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 101 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstentions. Committee amendment is adopted.
Mr. Speaker, ask final passage.
All right, we're on final passage of House Bill 308 as amended. If you're in favor of this bill, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 100 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and House Bill 308 is passed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, members.
All right, thank you for your work on the bill. Clerk, call the next bill on special order.
On page 19 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 4 by Senator Beasley relating to prosthetics and orthotics board.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a companion.
That is a classic right there. That's a classic. Say it one time, Representative Hurst.
Vote! Okay, I move the BR. How about
Okay, I think that's where we are. All right, if you're in favor of the BIR, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. Oh. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. 101 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstentions. The BIR is adopted. Representative Hurst.
Mr. Chairman, I move for adoption.
All right, we're on final passage of Senate Bill 4. If you're
Now
in favor,
vote.
If you're in favor of this bill, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote.
Thank you so much.
And good work on the bill. Thank you. All the members voted? Okay. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 101 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and Senate Bill 4 is passed. Mr. Clerk, call the next bill on special order.
On page 26 of the calendar, House Bill number 249 by Representative Lipscomb relating to credit union.
And Representative Lipscomb, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to request the same Hurst courtesy, please. I would ask for the BIR on HB 249.
All right, I believe that's the question before us, adoption of the BIR on House Bill 249. If you're in favor of that bill, your vote is aye. If you're getting ahead of myself. If you're in favor of the BIR, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 100 yeas, 0 nays, 1 abstention. The BIR is adopted. And Representative Lipscomb, we're back on the bill now.
Mr. Speaker, we have a Senate substitute.
All right, and you make a motion to substitute Senate Bill
135, please.
135 for House Bill 249. Hearing that motion before us, and is there any objections to that motion? Hearing none, then the motion is adopted. We are ready now to make substitute.
Mr. Speaker, I'd call for the BIR on SB 135.
All right, the question before us is going to be the adoption of the BIR. If you're in favor of the BIR, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 102 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and the BIR is adopted. Representative Lipscomb.
Mr. Speaker, I'd call for final passage of SB 135.
All right, we're on final passage of Senate Bill 135. If you're in favor of this bill, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 97 yeas, 1 nay, 3 abstentions, and Senate Bill 135 is passed.
Mr. Speaker, I'd call for an indefinite postponement of House Bill 249.
All right, members, you've heard the motion before you. All in favor of that signify by saying aye. And the motion is adopted. And the chair thanks the gentleman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir. And clerk, call the next bill on special order.
On page 19 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 102 by Senator Beasley relating to the Pharmacy Board.
And the chair recognizes Representative Soros.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, sir.
I figured third time's the charm, so.
Well, we're fixing to find out.
Yes, sir. I'd like to request adoption of the BIR.
Okay, I believe so far, if you're in favor of the BIR, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine. The members will vote. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. There are 101 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstentions. The BIR is adopted. Representative Soros.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like final passage of Senate Bill 102.
All right, we're on final passage. Members, if you're in favor of this bill, your vote is aye. If you're opposed, your vote is no. Clerk will unlock the machine and the members will vote. All the members voted. All the members voted. Clerk will lock the machine, record the vote. 99 yeas, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, and Senate Bill 102 is passed.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to permanently suspend House Bill 109, the companion bill.
Well, it's not on the calendar, so you don't have to.
Okay.
We don't have to worry about that. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We just won't call it back up again. Okay. All righty. Mr. Clerk, I think that was the bill we were looking for, wasn't it? Okay. Okay. All right. All right. And the chair recognizes the pro tem for a motion. Let me, Mr. Pro Tem, before you make that motion, we vote on that. I think we've got a member today had a birthday. Representative Rafferty, is today your birthday? Is today your birthday? Somebody told me.
Happy birthday
yes, can you nod yes?
to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Representative Rafferty.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. All right. Now, Mr. Pro Tem, we're ready for a motion.
First, let me announce to the members of the Legislative Council in room 200 at 9 a.m. in the morning, the Legislative Council will meet. Mr. Speaker, I move that the House leave the journal open until such time as the clerk completes his paperwork, and at which point we will stand in adjournment until Thursday, March the 3rd at 9:30 a.m.
All right, members, you've heard the motion before you. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Any opposed? And we, Representative Brace, it's good to have you back. Yeah. All right, members. Good work today. Good work. We are adjourned.